All right. Breezy Clean Windows, Chris here. I am your guy, okay? So today's topic is going to be about red flag customers, okay? We can all relate that we've all dealt with them or we've all experienced them, or maybe we're just blind to who they are and how to weed them out, right? So there's thousands of videos on YouTube that you clicked, and chances are you're all going to be able to relate to what I'm mentioning today. Okay, so number one is going to be Hagglers. Okay, I'm not talking about the cheapskate customers, I'm talking about the hagglers, the ones that seem to think that this is an auction house where it's going once, going twice, sold to the cheapest. Doesn't work like that. Okay, if my job's 400, yes, I can probably be flexible and get you down to 475, maybe 460. If you can help out by getting maybe some of your neighbors or maybe getting a family member to get their windows cleaned or something like that, right? So the hagglers, you're never going to avoid them, but I wouldn't say cheap customers are the ones, because I like to call the hagglers the red flags. The cheap customers you can work with, the hagglers you're just negotiating with, and it's just a race to the bottom at that point. So you're better to put your hands up and give them a no faster than later and run out the door and hit them with the drum on the way up. Make sense? Makes sense, right? Now, this one's good because this is for all the subcontractors and all, not necessarily just window cleaners or landscapers, right? I'm sure you guys have heard, well, if I supply the pressure wash, okay, if I supply the ladder, do I get a deal? Oh, sorry, man, your 50 psi pressure wash or your 100 psi pressure wash is not going to cut it to get all this grime off, right? So I kindly will let them know that I appreciate the offer and I appreciate your tools, but your squeegee from Home Depot and your ladder that looks like it's from 1962 is not going to help get your house up to standards, and I think we'll move on from there. Another red flag, right? So we got the hagglers. We got the customers offering you their tools that are outdated, materials. Whoa, that just screams nightmare, right? Totally understand, right? Now, another thing is sometimes these customers, they like to dust their shoulder off and they like to say, well, I have a few suggestions on how you can clean this and do that and do this. Remember, guys, you're the one in the business. You're the one with the experience. You don't want customers dictating how you're going to do the job. I had one customer in the past tell me to use a newspaper and vinegar to get their windows up to standard. I just kind of laughed and rolled my eyes, and I'm thinking, there's no way that's going to happen, and neither should you, right? You use whatever method you use as long as your results back it up. That's all that matters to the customer. Yes, maybe some people do use vinegar in a newspaper, and maybe that's their method, but I've never met one of these people. And if I do meet one of these people, I'm going to give them a high five because they're probably doing one house a year for minimum wage. All right. Now, another one I should point out too is you guys have always had that one customer who's not flexible with your schedule. Okay, if you're a landscaper cutting grass, 90% of the time, all you have to be is outside of the customer's home. If you're a window cleaner doing exterior windows, you only need to be outside of the home, right? Snow removal, only need to be outside of the home. So if the customer is not there and they trust you, 9 times out of 10, you can just proceed with the job like normal, right? That makes sense, right? But if a customer's saying, well, I don't cut my grass till after 2:30. My dog has to go in the backyard, and then I have to come back in and lock the gate. Oh, and there's somebody coming next door to do this and that and blah 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 blah. It just doesn't work. Just doesn't work, right? And I know you guys probably dealt with that before, and I know it's gonna happen again, but these customers do exist, and that's why we're talking about them today. All right, now another one I should point out too is a customer who wants 18 different quotes divided into 18 different sections. Can you do this window here? Can you do the siding here? Can you eliminate the exterior? Can you add the interior? How much to pressure wash the driveway? Your head's just gonna become overwhelmed. And we don't want that as a business, because if I did that for every single customer, I would be emailing for 40 hours a week. I wouldn't have any operations going. But those customers, no, no, no. Now, what I'm saying now, these are red flag customers. We want to turn these red flag customers into red flag prospects. And by being alert, whether you're in it for 1 year, 2 years, 2 months, 10 years, you're always going to come across these people. And you can work with majority of these people too, not to say they are bad customers, but I'm just letting you guys know, if you can put your spidey senses on and weed them out early in the business, you're going to be marching forward in the right direction. So this video was made for anybody who wants a little bit of advice, or I guess a little bit of knowledge when they are proceeding with a quote and they hear these things from the customer. They can put them in their back pocket, and then when they go home at night to digest what the customer said, they can work with that. Breezy Clean, your window guy. Stay fly.